If you've been scrolling through endless camera system listings, watching YouTube unboxings, and still feel stuck between do I need a fancy 12-megapixel rig, and maybe a cheaper 4K box will do, this review is going to clear that up. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I've spent the last week setting up the REOLINK 16CH 12MP bullet system in a 3-car garage, a 2-story home office, and a backyard patio so I can tell you exactly how it behaves when the sun goes down, when a stray cat wanders by, and when a delivery driver finally shows up at the front door. First off, the biggest question most people have about a 12MP security camera is whether those extra pixels actually matter in everyday use. In theory, 12MP gives you a resolution that can capture a license plate from 30 feet away, which sounds impressive, but the real test is whether the image stays clear when the lens does its thing. The REOLINK bullet system pulls it off with a solid PO setup. Each camera plugs directly into the NVR's 16 ports, so you never have to worry about battery life or Wi-Fi dropouts. The PO connection also means the cameras are always powered, which eliminates the camera went dark after a few weeks nightmare many users report with battery run models. Let's talk low light performance because that's where many high-resolution cameras fall flat. The REOLINK bullets have a built-in spotlight that actually emits a soft white glow at night, turning the black and white night vision most systems use into a full-color view. The first night I tested the backyard camera, a raccoon tried to sneak in while the lights were off, and the footage showed the animal in color with enough detail to see the stripes on its tail. For a homeowner who needs to identify a trespasser or a delivery driver in the dark, that color info can be a real time saver compared to trying to decipher a grainy black and white clip. Smart detection is another selling point. REOLINK's firmware includes separate algorithms for humans, vehicles, and pets. In practice, this means the NVR will send you a push notification only when a human is detected, filtering out the usual flood of alerts from squirrels or falling leaves. During a 2-week trial, the system sent me 3 human alerts: one for a neighbor's teenage son walking his bike, one for a delivery truck pulling up, and one for my own cat jumping onto the front porch. The pet detection correctly ignored the cat's movements when it was just playing, which reduced unnecessary notifications. If you're the type who likes a clean notification feed and don't want to constantly scroll through false alarms, the smart detection really helps. Two-way talk is less a must-have and more a nice-to-have for certain users. I tested it in the front yard by ringing the doorbell and speaking through the camera to a visitor. The built-in speaker was loud enough to be heard a few meters away, and the microphone captured my voice clearly. For families with kids coming home from school, or for renters who need a way to announce themselves before entering a building, this feature adds a layer of convenience without needing a separate intercom system. However, if you're only interested in recording footage and never plan to interact through the camera, the two-way talk might feel like an unnecessary extra. Now, who should actually buy this system? If you're a homeowner with a moderately large property, say, a 2-story house with a garage, a side yard, and a front porch, this 16-channel kit hits a sweet spot. The 4 terabytes hard drive included can store up to 2 months of continuous footage at high resolution, so you won't be constantly trimming clips. The fact that it's expandable to 24 channels means you can grow the system as you add cameras later, which is a huge advantage over a 4-camera bundle that forces you to start over when you need more coverage. Small business owners that need to monitor a storefront and a small storage area will also benefit from the reliable PO connectivity and the ability to differentiate between vehicles and people. On the flip side, if you live in a small apartment or only need to keep an eye on a single front door, this system is overkill. The hardware itself isn't cheap, and the 12MP resolution isn't fully utilized unless you're actually zooming into the footage for detail. For a simple entry door camera, a single 1080p or 2K Wi-Fi camera would do the job for a fraction of the price. Also, the system doesn't have a built-in battery backup, so if your power goes out during a storm, the cameras will go dark until the electricity returns. For those living in areas with frequent outages, you'll need to invest in an UPS or look for a battery-backed system. Practical strengths become evident the moment you start using the system day after day. The menu on the NVR is straightforward. You get a live view of each channel, you can set motion zones, and you can enable or disable the different detection types with a few clicks. There's no endless scrolling of obscure settings.